Hi everyone, my name's Simone Hirsch. I'm the Learning and Support Teacher at Anzac Park Public School. Um, I am here Monday to Wednesday. I've had 5 years in the role as Learning and Support Teacher. But prior to that, I was a classroom teacher, so I have a good understanding of the pressures that you all face, and particularly in regards to meeting all the individual needs of your students. I have 2 children who are the sparkle in my eye and put the greys in my hair. I love to travel and take them to new places. That is probably my biggest passion. I really love this role because I love providing students that are with additional needs to have the opportunity to access the curriculum and believe in themselves, achieve success with their goals. It's a really special role and I really enjoy it. I love learning new things and supporting people, so it is my goal to support you, your students, the school, the best way that I can. So please let me know how I can best support you. Please come to me at any point. I have an open door policy, and if you have any jokes, come and drop by and tell me one because I love to laugh as well. See you soon.
So if you go into your Google Drive, then you will have a Learning and Support Teachers folder. And in there, we're just going to have a look now at the processes for learning and support. So when you identify a student with additional learning and support needs, the first port of call is to check the learning and support records and information from previous teachers. This might be in the files that are in the special programs room. You can email me to see if you can access some learning and support team student information and view the student profile on Central. Then you can review the Learning and Support Teachers Handbook, and I'm just going to show you here. That will be in Resources, and the point of this is so that you start to have a good idea of what sort of needs your students might have and what sort of adjustments you can start to put in place. It's going to look like this, but I haven't actually made it yet, but it will be here for you. And you will look in the Learning and Support Teachers Handbook, and then you will complete the initial adjustments 5-week plan with your AP, unless your AP identifies that an immediate referral is needed. So again, the point of this is so that we can streamline the process and see what works and doesn't work. So again, we'll go back into Resources and into Templates, and here you'll see the 5-week initial adjustment plan. Again, this is I've just mocked this one up just to give you an idea of what it will look like, but these are the sort of things in the coming weeks that the Learning and Support team are going to be talking about and discussing, and I'm going to create all of these based on those conversations. But essentially it will be based on that handbook, what adjustments are you putting in place? And then you will have a 3 weeks progress review with your AP. Then you'll have a 5-week progress review. Then you'll have a what worked, what didn't work, and how you'd like to be supported. So hopefully at this stage, you will feel like those adjustments have worked and you feel very empowered and you can move on and continue doing your fabulous work. However, and also talking to parents is a good way of getting some information about your students and their needs. Now, if after the 5 weeks and you've administered the 5-week plan, you've monitored the success of the adjustments, you've had your 3-week progress meeting with the AP. So if it's successful, then you will just finalize the initial adjustments and attach it to the student profile on Central, because that will help the next teacher that has them to know what works if any issues arise in the future. However, if the 5-week plan determines that further support is required, or the AP identifies that immediate referral is needed, then you book into the Learning and Support team meeting with your AP. So you both book in, and that will be here. This is a Google Doc, so that means that as soon as you book it in, it's live and it saves. You don't need to save it yourself. So you might say in week 5 we're going to book in. The week before this comes up at Learning and Support Team, we will arrange for me to come and have a observation of the student, and that just helps keep everything scheduled on track and we're all on the same page. You've booked into the Learning Support Team meeting with your AP, so you can both come because we want to give a really good holistic support to you and to the student. Then you're going to complete the referral form with your AP and attach it to the student profile on Central. That will be in the referral section, and it looks like this, or something along these lines. I'm just going to fix this up, and this is, again, the idea is that we don't want you to have to do a whole lot of extra work because we know that you're under a lot of pressure and doing a lot of work anyway. You all work really hard, so hopefully this will be a little bit easier for you just to do a bit of a tick box, and it will give us quite a good idea about where we can go to from there. When you're going to refer any students to the Learning Support Team, you need to make sure that you complete a letter that informs the parents that this is happening, and I will fix all of these up as the weeks go by. So back here, you'll have completed the referral with your AP and attached it to the student's profile on Central. You've completed the initial adjustments 5-week plan that I just showed you before to say what did work and what didn't, and you're going to bring the initial adjustments 5-week plan, any relevant assessments you have. If you can, bring a work sample as well of the student, just to illustrate what you're finding their additional needs are, and bring it to the Learning and Support Team meeting and with your AP as well, and we will discuss and go from there. So at the Learning and Support Team meeting, we will develop a support plan, which again I'm in the process of creating with the Learning and Support Team, and that might be in here. Here we go. And so this will just allow us, this will structure our conversation. So we'll be able to talk about what strategies and adjustments you can trial from that point. We'll see if there are any additional support services, programs, or people such as myself or the school counsellor that could be involved if it's required. Then we'll have a 3-week progress review of this support plan and a 5-week review of this support plan to see what worked, what didn't work moving forward. So we'll develop the plan, we'll access the counsel. You might be able to access counselling or a counsellor assessment, or if you need help contacting parents or arranging a support in meetings with parents. It could include external health referrals, regional support, outside agencies, further assessment, support for you as the teacher, flexible support for students. So we're trying to create some structures here to maximise the support that you have with the resources that we have available. And I am there 3 days. Our school counsellor is there, I think 1.5 days. He's there on a Monday and every half day, every second Friday, but you might want to confirm those dates with him. And I'm there Monday to Wednesday. So because there's only a few of us, we've got to try and see how we can maximise that support and give you everything so that you feel very supported and we are meeting the students' needs. While you're at the meeting, we'll book in a 5-week review of this new support plan, just to make sure that we're monitoring it, staying on top of it, and that we're actually having impact. And I will update the whole school data to help us track, monitor, individual student needs and whole school needs. So in here will be the policies. I've got the role statement for the learning and support teacher. If you want to have a look through there, this is the role statement from the Department of Education. But again, as these weeks move on, I will be working with the learning and support team to create our own version of the learning and support role for Anzac Park Public School. Here is the learning and support team policy, which if you actually click in at the moment, you'll find that it is actually the wellbeing policy, and I've only just changed the title. That's as far as I've got with that one, but that's what will also be happening in the next few weeks. In here we have some resources, some adjustable programs which I can help explain to you at another point, and here is where over the next few weeks I am going to be trying to collate some really quality resources for you all. And the idea is that there'll be all of these areas, and there'll be somewhere a place for research, so if you want to read a little bit more about them, the type of mode that it comes in, whether it's in class or whether you can just access it on the drive, the types of research, some adjustments for those specific needs, any IEP or ILP material that you might want to use, any type of assessments that I've got, and programs or resources that might work well in group support, whether it's in class with myself or with a parent or with a peer buddy or just with you when you're doing your group work with your co-teacher. And the same with individual support. We try and move away a little bit from withdrawal because the research shows that inclusion is a better, has better results for students with additional learning needs. Now when you click on one of these resources, you can go straight to the resource, and I have a few resources that I have stolen / borrowed from colleagues over the past, or ones that I've created myself, and so hopefully we can get a really great bank. And I'd really appreciate if you have any, if you look in here and you see that you have any specific really good resources that you think would be great to share, then that would be fantastic, and I can put a link in there and we can upload that. So that's also going to be a place that you can go to, as well as your toolkit where you have your adjustments and your identification of needs. This should be able to help you put some things in place so that you can create that 5-week plan and then come to the learning and support team meeting, and we can go from there. And because everything is easier for me to understand in animation, and who doesn't love cartoon?